So I checked out a movie called Blackout, which is this werewolf horror movie. It was on my site. I knew nothing going into watching this movie. When we saw the positives, there's one positive about this movie. I think the prosthetics on the when he changes into the werewolf. I do like the fact it looks like an old fashioned look to the werewolf, where he's still human but with werewolf pieces, which I thought was cool. It kind of goes back to like the Wolfman, or more like a more old fashioned look to a werewolf, not like how you see in Underworld or American Werewolf in London with dog soldiers, or later werewolf movies right now where it's like they look more werewolf, full on animal than any human feces. So I thought that was neat to kind of go for like an old fashioned look to the werewolf when it comes to prosthetics and everything. That's the only positive about this movie. Everything else is just really bad about this movie. This movie is the most dull and boring werewolf movie I've ever watched. And the pacing of it is so slow. Like, it really felt like nothing was happening. And there's a lot of scenes where it's just him as a werewolf going through the woods. So it just feels like nothing's happening in the movie. The characters are just so dull and uninteresting. I didn't care about a single character in this movie. And there's a lot of, I'm not familiar with the director. There's a lot of like weird images in the movie with the visuals at times. I was like, it's just not working for me, this movie at all. And like, there's a story with the guy who's the main guy who's a werewolf who's gonna leave town, and they like show that him and this girl used to be together, and then they're not together anymore. And he stayed away from her when he realized he was turning into a werewolf. And like at the end, when she's like she has a new boyfriend after they broke up, and he kills a new boyfriend, and I was like, I don't really care. And at the end, when she finds the gun with silver bullets, because early in the movie he goes to this guy who's his friend and tells him to video record him, showing that he had, because they were talking about all these kills that have happened in town. So his friend shoots a video of him recording and committing that he's the one that he's changed into a werewolf, and he's the one that all those kills have happened in town, like the thing that's going around killing people. And it didn't work out, where he breaks loose, and he doesn't, and this sheriff, I believe, comes in, and like his friend dies in the scene. So she picks up the gun later on in the movie that his friend was gonna use to kill him. And I was just like, I just don't care about this relationship between him and his ex girlfriend. It's like like I said, I felt no investment in these characters. It's like this. I've never watched a werewolf movie that was so boring. It's just, this movie did not work for me at any point when it came to story, characters. I think this was one, to me. This is like the worst werewolf movie I've seen, because I've seen some bad werewolf movies, like American Werewolf in Paris. That's a terrible movie. But at least it's like the stuff I feel like is happening in that movie. In Blackout, it just feels like nothing is happening. The pace is just, like I said, so sluggish that it's ridiculous. Like, for a werewolf movie, how slow this movie is with its pace and story. The characters are just the most boring characters I've seen in a werewolf movie. So yeah, overall, I can't recommend Blackout. This movie just did not work for me. That's my thoughts on Blackout. Until next time, movie fans.